I'm looking for the Takeoff blacksmith's cart. Have you seen it?
Loads of carts come past here. There's going to be a wedding and they need supplies. Try asking Captain Gnarly. He keeps an eye on supplies. He'll probably be in the courtyard.
Thanks.
And watch yourself when you go into the courtyard.
Why?
We've got some wedding guests from Moravia. They're in pretty high spirits. It's still a while to the wedding, but them gents is already getting into the swing of things.
Just get the corner over here.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You're right there, laddie.
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Oh. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? No, I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Serene is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck where you're from. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
Aye. The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. I'll get you.
Didn't expect that, did you?
Stop feeding him!
Fuck!
The man's your fucking body!
Stop fighting!
Why did you do that?
Filthy vermin!
These days, no one's ever really safe.
Come on. Oh, you wee bastard!
The devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that line?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takeoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yechin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
sir.
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above! And how are you gonna ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You've got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. And you, sir, what is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semi? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Semine's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Semine's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
I'd eat and drink my fill and check out the local maidens.
I hope Lord Semine didn't hear you. He'd be none too pleased to hear you want to take part in such a grand affair, just to stuff your face and roll an A with some drunken wench.
I beg your pardon, Captain, but that's what most fellas go to weddings for.
That's an unspoken truth, son. Unspoken, mind. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
We should probably get going.
My thoughts exactly. Off to the courtyard then.
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
God be with you.
Are you going to break bread today?
get ideas. I wasn't at my best. But I'm not gonna scrap with you again.
You've got quite an unusual accent. Where are you from?
Can't you tell? From Znojmo in Moravia. Lovely country. All
Well, you don't like it here.
You see any vineyards and bonny lasses here? The locks are broad, all right. They didn't exactly lift your spirits, but more the other way around.
You're related to the Semines, if I understood right.
Aye, I wouldn't e'er be here otherwise. My great-grandmother married young Lord Semin's great-uncle. It's not every day that you're, first cousin.
You're a long way from Moravia. You must hold Lord Semin in high esteem.
My pa holds all his kin in high esteem. So he sends us all over the place. We were at a wedding in Rottenburg last week. A wee bit from ye. Before that, it was a bairn's christening at Koshenberg, and another wedding in Dalchin. That's all I mind. I haven't been home for 6 months.
Where do you think you're going?
Greetings to you.
What are you gonna do, son?
Can I ask you something, Cap?
Sure. Ask away, son.
How about von Burgov? What's he like?
Well, actually, I don't know that much about Serato. He spends a lot of time in Prague and traveling. He ain't in Trotsky that often. Once a year, before Christmas, he invites his yeomen there.
That's all you know?
That's it.
What about Lord Semin?
What are you asking me, son? We don't know each other well enough for me to criticize my...
Oh, I'm not asking you to criticize him.
And would you believe me if I told you he's kind, that he knows how to make some coin, but he ain't no miser. He knows how to give all.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
See? You wouldn't believe...
I'll get going then.
Stop loitering! Come on! What are you gonna do, son?
Blessings to you. How can I help you today, friend?
What do you have for sale?
I hope you'll be satisfied, my friend.
I'd like to buy a horse.
All you have to do is pick the right one, then hand over the groschen. I will take care of the rest.
To be honest, it's my first time buying a horse.
Then make sure to take your time and choose wisely. Your first horse is your first horse, after all. Of course, if you ever wanted to exchange it, there's no problem. I will simply deduct the price of your old horse from the new one. Have you taken a look at our horses? You do know they differ in more than just the color of their coat, right?
I've already had a look at them.
Tell me then, which one do you like?
What can you tell me about Tarrant?
Tarrant is a pale red beauty. A typical that means a narrow head, high speed, and can carry a decent... They're popular with royal messengers carrying import. He has a bit of a heat rash at the moment, but I reckon as soon as he heads out into the world with someone, he'll feel better.
What is Soldier like?
A Roman nose is a sign of a war horse, and Soldier's is as Roman as they... On top of that, he is strong and courageous. Well, every bandit... The Roman noses from Samine have 2 or 3 weaknesses in combat, but you won't discover them easily, you know, in case they fall into enemy hands.
That price, I don't know. How about a disc?
Sorry, but Soldier...
What can you tell me about Bittercly?
Bittercly is one of those all-purpose horses. Horses like that don't care if you have them carry armor around in their saddle. A handful of clover is all Bittercly needs to be happy. At his age...
I changed my mind. Would you happen to have a cheap horse for sale?
Well, I sell quite a few, but by the looks of you, you must be talking about that grey nag, eh? But all she's good for are sausages. That old bitch won't let anybody touch her. I was already suspicious when that traveller sold her to me. He said he found her running about near the...
Grey? Old? That's where we were ambushed. That's my horse. That's Pebbles.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't from here.
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty, eh? He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
Fine. I'll buy her from you then.
That's more like it.
I'm sure you can take good care of Pebbles, but I just can't accept that price. Do we have a deal?
That's almost an acceptable price. Almost. It seemed to me like you might have some history with Pebbles. At least it certainly doesn't look that way.
I changed my mind. I'd like to buy a horse.
Which one caught your eye?
I changed my mind. How do things work here at this?
Samine's is an up. The horses we sell here, each one is a little different. In any case, you can take a... Some of them are some can carry a... And if you get along with us, Samine,
What do you have for sale?
Take care then, and thanks for nothing.
Henry, move your arse for Christ's sake.
What?
Don't get ideas. I wasn't at my best. But I'm not gonna scrap with
Good day to you. Are you looking for something?
What are you doing here?
Careful.
Yellow and red, the best on the market.
Time is pressing. Soon it'll be too late to ride out with Lord Semi.
Finest wares, quality goods.
You've no business here.
I never.
Was that you? Ah, never mind then.
Of course. The bailiff's daughter, Agnes, is a very sweet lass. Olga couldn't have chosen better.
I'm just wondering if she's good enough for the young lord.
Good enough. Agnes? She could well have.
Jesus Christ be praised.
What would you like?
What do you have for sale?
Thanks, and have a nice day, friend.
No need to be so hard on the young sir. He is his father's son.
Always glad to see polite people like you. God be.
Thanks to God and the Blessed Virgin.
And it's done.
What the hell happened? Where am I?
And it's done.
wearing our things. You must have stolen them. Ha! Ow! Are you looking for a fight? Show what you're made of! And now you're mine! Damn it!
You keep
Let's fall
resisting.
back!
I've all the right in the world to execute you on the spot.
That's him! Get him!
Haven't you had enough?
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What about Lord's...
What?
Oh,
And would study now?
sounds...
See?
How about...
Well, he ain't.
That's all.
That's.
I'd like to...
Wouldn't we all?
I beg your pardon.
That's an Anyways, stick with.
I'll get going then.
Greetings.
Or you'll choke on it.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
I don't know, sir. I'm not sure it's a good idea.
Well, lad, that's tough. Since no one cares much what you think right now, there's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen. Ah! 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 Come here, son. Come here, son. What do you say, son?
I didn't even work up a sweat.
Climb off your high horse, sonny. You might have won, but you ought to show a bit of respect.
Oh, leave him be, Gnarly. He's young. He'll figure it out on his own in time.
Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
day.
Ah, I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Samid. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
How did you recognize that I'm not from around here?
Oh, that's easy, youngster. From your smell.
Is that possible?
Oh, aye. I can smell the scent of foreign parts on you. In case you haven't noticed, Trotsky's not exactly Paris, France. I've lived here my whole life, and I know every tree, rock, and house for miles around. And you, I don't know. So you must be new here.
Ah. Well, you're right.
Sheath that weapon immediately!
What? Hey, knock it off. If a guard sees you armed, there'll be trouble.
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house. and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir.
Hail Mary.
Oh, no. I'm stuffed.
What would you like?
Where did Brunswick's armor come?
It is said that George the Lion of this George spent...
I think I get the pic.
And it is said that one day, as a reward, when only Sir George specifically, of course, it looked like Wenceslas.
Well, if the king was...
Lord Chenyak was as it's said. He hid it, or so they say round these parts.
I'll have a look at the wares.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything, then, eh?
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not every... Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all who's invited, what they'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burn...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family...
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord... Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that...
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will...
Let's hope more like that old miser will go around saying the opposite.
I don't think Lord Semine would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't...
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and that pair have mischief in their...
That'll be all. Thanks.
God grant you health.
Well then, young man, how did it...
I didn't say a word about you, sir.
There's a good lad. And what...
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yitchin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Yitchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats.
Did you hear about what happened at the Big Wheel?
I remember that place.
Yeah, the place
But
where
I'm
they
not
shut off
sure,
that street.
sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go then.